Welcome to episode 154 of
The Eldritch Podblast.
I am Margaret.
I am Jack.
And hi, it's not that hot today, actually.
It's not as hot today. It's still hot. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted.
It's still hot.
Still hot.
Still hot. When we came to you on Monday,
It was different.
Gosh, it was like we were coming from
The pits of hell.
the actual pits of hell, yeah, from
The
actual
fiery
Mordor.
depths of the abyss.
Goodness gracious me. It's humid, but it's not too bad today.
Yeah.
It's still bad. It's not bad enough where we had to turn off we had to mess the lighting up, but
Do you know what? I actually looked at the lighting and I thought it looked quite good with that one open.
really?
But the problem is it's inconsistent.
Yeah, and the problem is the lighting on my face in particular.
The lighting on your face looked great. I think the thing is, it actually looked really good, but the problem is, it was only because it was sunny.
Yeah.
And you can't bank on it being sunny here in the UK.
Yeah.
Especially for more than one day.
True. I mean, I wonder, because natural light is natural light, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I haven't watched it.
That's the problem, though, because we live in such a miserable weathered country.
Yeah.
It's like, it could be sunny at the beginning.
Yeah.
Could be raining by the end of the video.
Yeah. You know what? I remember when I've had many business attempts throughout my life. I remember when I was in uni, I wanted to start like a screen printing business.
Are you quite far away from your mic?
Not really, no.
Say something?
Okay,
That's better. That's better. You wanted to start a screen print business. Sorry, I could just see that it was quiet on the
I
audio
guess I actually
file.
was a bit far away from the mic,
Sorry,
actually.
continue.
Screen
printing business.
Screen printing business in uni,
Mm-hmm.
and have you ever screen printed before?
No.
Because I just wonder because we went to the same uni. I don't know if maybe like that was something that I guess we did. Anyway,
We did different classes though.
yeah,
What did you do? Graphics design?
yeah.
I did TV and film production.
Yeah.
We
So,
ain't screen printing.
If you don't know the process of doing screen printing, it requires you get the screen,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's like
Then you print.
then you print it.
Yeah.
It's like a mesh screen,
Yeah.
and then there's like a coating that goes on it, and you can either use UV rays or the sun to like imprint the image into the film.
Mhm.
And I always used to be like, man, I have to pay to get this professionally done. I wish UK was just sunny so I could do it here.
So I could just get the rays
Yeah.
on my print.
So I could just put it. Sorry.
So you can rely on the sun.
So I can rely on the sun. Yeah.
Did you have to send it off to get it like...
Yeah.
You had to pay to get it.
Yeah, you could either pay to get it printed. I mean, the uni that we went to, there was like a specific screen printing room where there was like an actual machine that like put the UV in, like it did it for you. But
The UV room.
yeah, the UV room.
The UV, is that what you called it?
Yeah, but like it was just such a process.
Yeah.
And I used to watch tutorials on YouTube, and people in America were just like, yeah, just leave the
I just
screen
leave it out in
outside
the
in the sun
sun.
for a minute. What?
It's like I could live out in the sun. I could go outside, but I'll put it out in the sun. 2 seconds
Get rained
later,
on.
It's
Yeah.
it's
Oh.
it's raining.
Yeah. It's snoring. No.
No, it's not snoring.
Sorry, wow. This first 5 minutes, just two old people fumbling through their words while
3 old because my dog's being
while
old.
dog be annoying in background.
My dog's just being old and annoying. Bless him. Cute though.
Hi, how are you doing?
How are you doing? What are you eating?
Did you
What
ever
you
try to
drinking?
start a screen printing business?
Have you ever screen printed before?
And to be clear, it wasn't a screen printing business. Like,
Business.
what's going on?
Screen printing brizzy.
I just wanted to sell things. Anyway, I hope you've had a good week.
Yeah?
I hope your brain cell is working at full capacity on like
Friday tomorrow.
Yeah,
It's Friday somewhere.
It's Friday somewhere.
Am I
Am I
right?
right? Am I right?
Am I right? Our Twitch lovers.
Yeah, Friday.
Come join us on Twitch.
It's Friday somewhere.
Somewhere.
I'm trying to think of things. I got some new headphones.
You did, but they're still
not good.
because you don't have a Bluetooth thing in your PC.
I don't have a built-in Bluetooth on my computer.
Yeah.
And it turns out I'm using the wrong Bluetooth receiver, so the quality is quite bad. But I've actually, after some research, and my friend Matthew, he helps me with all of my tech problems. It turns out that it's very hard to get a Bluetooth headset that actually the mic on it sounds good. And this is purely just for me on an evening gaming with my friends on Discord. So it doesn't need to be great quality, but it also can't really be terrible quality.
Yeah, because well, yeah. When it's bad quality, it's almost impossible to listen to.
Yeah, exactly.
It's rough.
Yeah.
But you know, the normal just like gaming headset that you can get for like 20 quid is does the job totally fine with the like built-in mic that comes around the front.
But it's all wired.
Yeah,
That's the
That's
issue.
the thing.
That's
so
the problem.
when you're trying to get when you're trying to get the wireless one where it has to be like a headset
it has to be through
and a
two.
mic.
Basically, it has to go through two frequencies.
Yeah.
When it's gone stereo, it only has to go through one, so it's okay. But when it has to be split up and it has to go through two frequencies, there's going to be like some like quality decay in both of them, basically. So I don't know what I'm going to do.
Because you bought a headset and it's bad.
Yeah.
So I think we're just going to return it.
Yeah. The headset isn't bad.
The headset's actually quite good.
The headset's good. But the problem is, apparently the best setup to have is wireless headphones, so it can go through stereo.
And a mic.
And a plugged-in mic. But, like, I'm not going to do that.
What's the point in buying that for just hanging out?
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
For just hanging out.
I don't think. And, you know, like, the reason I need to have a wireless headset is because, hey, oh my gosh, spoiler, our dog's a demon.
Well, it's not even that the dog's a demon. It's just because we have so many wires. Like, when we want to plug in the mics, we've got to unplug the headset. And then when we go back to gaming, you want your headset plugged back in. And it just annoys you,
It's very frustrating for me.
I think it's frustrating.
It's frustrating for me because my personal PC is also our work PC. So every time we stream or anytime we do anything to do with the podcast, it comes from my personal PC and things have to be moved. And I like things a certain way.
And I do try very hard to remember to plug it all back in for you.
You do.
But sometimes I forget.
You do. And I don't know if any of you I don't know what this is, but if one thing is wrong or out of place, it can send me into like a furious rage immediately, and I hate that part of myself. But
you don't hate it.
I do. Oh, I wish I could not be angry so often.
I said you don't need to hate
Oh,
it.
thank you. But I needed, and you know what? Again, we tell the story all the time. The dog with wires, it's
Dreadful.
like he sees a wire and he's like, I'm going to wrap myself up in it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, 99% of the time,
It's under my desk.
Well, yeah, and I'm cautious of where the wire is, but that 1%, when the wire it hangs off my desk slightly, he's like, I'm cutting it.
Then at the minute he's only really laying under my desk at the minute.
Yeah, I think it's because it's cool under there.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but he's like laying under my desk and he's like, he won't lay down until he's got a wire wrapped around. He'll like get a wire wrapped around himself and then he's like, right, now I can lay down.
And then we'll tuck them up on top of the desk and somehow he'll manage to get his tail in it.
Yeah, it'll drag him
pull
down.
It back down. So, hey, it's a minefield. So I'm very disappointed that my wired headset didn't work. If
Your wireless.
Good wireless.
Wirelessy.
If anyone has any suggestions for what I could do to get like a good wireless headset has like a mic.
Can you have two Bluetooth receivers? One that receives the headphone and one that receives the mic?
I don't think so.
I don't think that's how it'll work.
I don't think so. No, I don't think it is. So if anyone has any suggestions, I'd really like to know. I would really love to be able to have a wireless experience.
Yeah.
But that doesn't sound like absolute doggy doo-doo.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like butt cheeks.
Yeah. I'll think about maybe getting an extra mic and something that's, inexpensive, right?
Yeah, the problem is that's just another thing on your desk.
Yeah, I know.
That's the issue.
I know, that's it. And there's so much stuff on my desk.
And because you're not in the room alone, it would have to probably be quite close for it to not pick me up as well.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Yeah, it is the issue. It is.
It's being in the same room and gaming is... Do you want to know what? Causes far more
so many problems.
When you want to be on headset and talking to other people, it causes so many problems.
It does.
It's insane.
It does. And for me, who has a lot of audio sensory issues, like playing Valorant, a game where you have to have the sound cranked all the way up. And then when you're on Discord with friends, and then I'm on Discord with Jack, I hear Jack physically talking behind me. Then I hear Jack in my headset, and then I hear my friends, and then I hear the game. You can tell I'm stressed out just talking about it. Actually,
you need a really noise cancelling set of headphones, which those are.
Yeah,
the thing.
They actually really are.
They really are. You can tell just by putting them on. Like everything fades away around you.
Yeah.
Your problems.
Yeah.
All gone.
So if anyone has any suggestions, or even like a good wired set,
a good noise cancelling wired
set, I would really appreciate that. I actually, you know what? I don't think I actually realized how much it was stressing me out until this very moment talking about it. So I would really appreciate that.
Yeah. Drop your suggestions down below.
In better news, I got my first tarot card deck.
Yes, you did.
I was gonna mention this on Monday, but we ran out of time. I got my first
stream on Friday.
Yes. Yeah, we did. Yeah. I got my first tarot card deck. It's a Neopets set. It spoke to me, and I just had to get it. I know at this point, this is where I'm going to lose a lot of people, because a lot of people think tarot is just some woo-woo bullshit, which you're absolutely valid to think. But I view tarot, and I've become very close to Abby, who is very spooky, very much into things like this. I'm trying to open myself up to spirituality in a way, because I believe it's a big positive thing. Every experience I've had with tarot, which to be fair, has only been Abby giving me a reading. And,
not true.
And me pulling those cards.
More recently.
It's all been really positive, and it's because the positivity has to come from within me, right?
Yeah.
I have to manifest my own positivity. And I think that is a task that I enjoy doing.
Yeah.
And I enjoy being able to have the idea that I can see a message and turn it into something positive for myself and strive to actually meet that positivity, for me, is a good thing. So I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, you have. We did a couple of card pulls the first day we got it, didn't we?
Yes.
We did one each.
Yeah, we did one each.
We asked a question. I asked how D&D was going to go, and I got a very relevant answer.
Did? I asked if there's anything I should know right now, and I think I indeed got a very relevant answer. And I think that's the thing, right?
It's like some people could be like, that's not relevant. It's just like, but I think because of who we are, we find relativity in it.
Yeah.
And I think right now you pull a very positive message.
Yeah.
Because it could be construed in a very negative way.
And that's the thing. It could be.
Because of the person who's pulling it, who is trying to think of it in a very positive way.
Yeah.
It feels like a very positive thing.
Totally. And I will say, the deck feels very nice and sweet and kind. Mm-hmm. But that's probably because I'm projecting that onto it, to be honest with you. And some people, the argument a lot of people give is, well, you're just seeing things you want to see, and it's only good because you're making it good. And I'm like, exactly.
That's the point, isn't it?
That's the point.
It's like when something bad happens to you, you maybe can be like, it's okay, don't worry about it. Or you could be like, oh my God, this has ruined everything in my life. It's like, that's exactly the same as looking at the tarot like that.
Yeah, it is.
It's like having a positive mental attitude about that, and having a positive mental attitude about anything else. It's like, oh well, you can call it stupid, but why would you call somebody with a positive mental attitude stupid?
Yeah, it's Matthew made a good point actually, because Matthew pulled a card as well, which I did not expect him to do. And he was like, it's kind of like horoscopes, right?
Yeah.
It's a big, and I'm not saying that they're the same, because they're not, but kind of like a blanket statement that you can go, oh, that's relevant to me because of this.
Yeah, that's relevant right now because of this, and and I'm going to take a positive out of it because it said this.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing, and I think honestly that's the point.
Yeah, that is the point.
That's entirely the point. So all of that to say, I've just started dabbling in it. I really like being able
Neopets.
to. I really like Neopets. I really like kind of working that part of my brain that makes me think about a situation in a specific way based on a prompt, and then me being able to be like, how is this relevant? How is this relevant? And then either I'm making up something that's relevant, which I think is fine, or I'm like, it's relevant because of that. So I've had very good experiences so far.
Good.
And I hope to continue to have good experiences so far. So that's it.
Yeah. Good stuff.
That's it.
Good soup.
Anything for you?
No. I've not been doing much. I've been hanging out. I've just been hanging around. around?
Yeah, we haven't really done much, have we?
I've just been playing games and that and just chilling out.
Yeah, a lot of Valorant. Listen, we've been playing a lot of Valorant again.
Yeah.
And that's that on that.
Yeah, that's that on that.
So, with that, shall we get into topic?
Oh my God. Get me into topic. Thank you so much to all our patrons over at Patreon.
You have no idea how much we appreciate your support.
If you want to support us over at Patreon and gain access to our exclusive content,
like our D&D campaign updates and our extra monthly live streams,
click the link in the description. More about Patreon at the end of this video. Thank you.
So, as you can see from the title, well, not last week, the last time we did one of these episodes.
Yeah, we did a slightly different one, didn't we?
Yeah, instead of doing unpopular opinions, because listen, the unpopular opinions just annoy me now.
Yeah,
like,
the unpopular opinions are...
It's just the same thing over and over and over.
5e's a bad system and here's why.
Yeah.
And what is it? Bad's are bad, here's why.
Yeah, crit fumble tables are bad, here's why.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
There's too many races.
There's too many races.
Yeah. Spellcasters and marshals aren't that different. Monks aren't that bad. It's just the same thing over and over.
Old wrong bullshit.
No, not necessarily wrong, you know, but like
there's some wrong.
There's some
objectively wrong takes.
There definitely
there's
is.
Objectively wrong
Yeah,
takes.
definitely. Things that are said in bad faith.
Definitely. Exactly.
And you know, that type of that kind of trying to get a bite is like opinion is just.
It's like you're not saying it because I feel like a lot of the time when it comes to unpopular opinions, I feel like people aren't saying it because they believe it. They're saying it because
they want to get a bite.
Because they just think it's a kooky fucking thing to say.
Yeah,
and it's not, and it's not funny, and it's not cool.
I agree. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find like Reddit posts that are. If you've watched our like this month on Reddit post, I always
some of our
do
best
one.
episodes, by the way. Go watch them.
I agree. I always find one that asks like a question. Like I think the last one is like, what is a moment when you scared your DM or something like that. I'm trying to find things like that. And last time we did this episode, we did who was the worst DM you had. And this episode, we're doing who was the worst player you had.
It was you. I'm looking at you.
They smell like beef. They smell like
beef. They smell like beef. They smell like beef.
So these are all Reddit posts about people's experience with the worst D&D player that they have had.
Let's go, baby.
So the first one is, this player helped me afford all of my books and then felt like, because of this, he was entitled to call me out constantly and veto me as the DM. If he didn't agree with the choice I made, it didn't happen because I paid for those books, you know, it's my game. He also assumed I was trying to work against the party and demanded I leave the room while the party formulated plans to challenge dungeon events.
Oh my God.
So you won't metagame and stop us. He also reserved the right to control and punish the other players if he disagreed with them, since he owned the game.
So... what? Like I hate that I bought it. It's like, you know, when you were a child and for all of you young men out there, when we were playing football in the playground, there was this etiquette. It's like I brought the ball so you can't play.
Oh, that's so mean.
That was the thing. It's just like you had to ask the person whose ball it was if you could play.
That's
when it's just
so
like the whole playground playing. It's like that bullshit though.
Oh man, this is the perfect example of if you're doing something nice for me so you can hold it over my head.
Yeah,
just don't
do something nice for me.
I don't want it.
I don't want it. Like. If you're doing it just so you can have the final say,
then
you're doing it. First of all, you're doing it for the wrong reason, and
totally.
Also that's just not how it works.
Yeah, totally. Oh my gosh, like I absolutely hate this like charity that's veiled under them just wanting their own way. You know what? Outside of all of that, being like, DM, you have to leave the room.
So we can surprise you with some tactic in the dungeon to floor you.
And like the thing is, to a certain level, I get it. I understand wanting to be able to do something that surprises your DM
in a nice way.
In a nice way.
In a nice way.
Or in a kind of like ooh way, you know.
But that's the thing. It's just like, even if I was at the table, it's like I might know. My monsters have no idea though.
Exactly.
So it's just like it doesn't matter if I'm there or or not. And I understand that there might be some bad faith dungeon masters who don't act like that.
Yes.
And who are like, oh, they said that, I'll just give my thing counterspell so they can't do it or something like that.
Totally. Yeah.
But, a dungeon master, that's not what the dungeon master's there to do. The dungeon master's to facilitate fun. So if you're sending the dungeon master out of the room so you can plan accordingly around them, it's like, you just have no faith in your dungeon master.
And like, also, imagine the words as a player who just helped the DM buy some books, doesn't contribute to the planning, doesn't contribute to the sessions, is this person who's like, accuses everyone and wants to punish everyone. Imagine the words coming out of your mouth. It's my game.
It's giving.
I think the fuck it's not.
It's giving only child energy.
Yeah, it is giving only child energy.
Child energy.
It is giving single
it's
child
giving
energy.
I've never shared my stuff energy.
Oh man, like I paid for those books,
It's like fucking nice one. I've paid.
You know
for
what you
books
can
before.
also pay for? My fucking bail.
Yeah.
That's where I fucking pick you up.
You can pay for your own taxi home, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Get out.
I just think, what a boring, horrible way to treat people around you.
What a boring way to view the world.
Man.
It's just like, the thing is, if your dungeon master couldn't afford the books right now, it's like a million miles away from payday, but everyone's really hyped for a new module.
The books are expensive.
The books are expensive.
Especially if you're buying them like brand new.
Yeah, it's a million miles away from payday. It's like, you had a bunch of stuff come out and someone's just like, hey, I'll buy it for you. And, you can pay me back on payday or something like that.
Totally.
It's like totally fine.
Yeah.
Like, so we can all get in and do it. It's like, that's why you should do things for your friends. If you want to buy things for your friends, you could do it just because you like
you like your friend.
Gift giving might be your love language.
Exactly.
You might just understand the situation there, and you might just really like your friend and know they're excited for something.
Yeah.
But doing it with in mind,
exactly, doing it for any other reason than you want to do something nice for your friend, like you shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
If you're doing like favors for people in the hopes that, oh well, if I do this favor for them now, then they'll have to do this favor for me then, or
that means I have some sort of power over them. Full stop.
And
it's
you
just
know
rough.
what? As the DM, this actually must be such a horrible position to be in, because I know me, and I like to sit here and be like, oh yeah, it wouldn't bother me. It would. If someone had bought me potentially £100 worth of books, and then they were like, yeah, well, I did buy them for you. You
owe me.
I genuinely think part of the guilt in me would be like, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I couldn't help, but actually...
I don't... Look, I know who you are. I know who you are. Somebody tried to tell you what to do.
Oh, yeah.
It ain't going well. Full stop. It doesn't matter who you are.
I'd like to think in a perfect world, if someone did this, I would pack the books up, I would hand them right back to them and go, I don't want them then. Like if this is how you're going to treat me, I don't want them.
That's it. It's just like you grab the books, you hand them over and be like,
I don't want this.
I don't want this. I don't want you. Please leave. We'll play without you.
I'd rather not have you holding it over my head. And me having them, I'd rather not have them.
It's like, just because you own something and you allow people to play doesn't mean then you have any authority over them or what is going on. And full stop. It's like, just if that's the way you want to play, just don't play with people.
I completely agree. And if some people are using the things that you provided, like minis or like even the books, like the only thing they owe you is respect of your property. And like,
just don't break their stuff. Be respectful of it.
And being respectful of your property. And honestly, that's it. Like,
that's it. Like that's as long as they give you it back.
Yeah.
And they give you it back in the same condition they took it in.
Yeah.
Like. That's it.
I agree.
Just treat the things, because look, D&D, TTRPGs, not a particularly cheap hobby.
No, God,
Minis aren't cheap.
No.
Terrain isn't cheap.
No.
Books aren't cheap.
No.
Just like all of the fucking stationery.
Yeah, I agree. If you play with pen and paper,
yeah, it's just expensive. Yeah. So just like, they don't have anything over you, but at the same time, just treat it with respect.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah, totally. So, yeah, that stinks.
That's a dreadful first one.
Hey, oh my gosh. Hey, there's loads more.
Just like, don't be charitable if the only thing you want is power.
Absolutely.
Because that's not charitable.
Hey, you know what? There's a lot of people in this world high up that could listen to that. There really is.
Yeah.
So, this next one is just a straight up DM's nightmare. they wouldn't commit to sessions ever. We would know whether he was attending 5 minutes after the agreed start time and not a second earlier.
I know somebody like that.
He couldn't seem to remember the absolute basics of the game. On every one of his turns, he'd ask which mini was his. Then he would roll a d6 to see how far he could move, and then he'd roll damage without telling me which creature he was attacking or even necessarily being within range of the enemy. When it was his turn, he would pay when it wasn't his turn, sorry. He would pay absolutely zero attention to the game and would blame it and would blather on at maximum volume about his personal life, often interrupting actual play to do so.
Oh my God, shut up.
I stopped inviting him to sessions.
Yes, that's a good shout.
And I feel like this player, every DM at some point will interact with a player like this.
And like the thing is, just so you know, nobody I play with, but I know somebody like this.
Yeah,
but,
same.
It's the first bit. The first bit, all of it's bad, but the first bit really pisses me off.
Honestly,
like,
I know.
Not knowing if they're coming until 5 minutes after the time that the session started is not good enough.
Yeah, absolutely not.
It's like, look, if things come up as emergencies,
absolutely,
we understand.
Absolutely. If you're going through like a season in your life where it is really hard to commit to things, like, again, you just need to make someone aware of that.
Yeah.
And you just communicate that, and people will really
100%.
give you so much leeway.
They've probably been through it themselves.
Yeah,
they
totally.
probably understand on a like actual personable level what you're going through, and they'll give you the time and space. But so if it happens like now and then, we get it.
That happens.
But if it happens
life.
every
single
week,
session,
every week,
every time,
you are not telling people 5 minutes
and
after.
You know what? It's just the lack of For me, it's the lack of communication.
Drives me up the wall.
You know, from a DM's perspective as well, like, to be fair, it all depends as well if you have a rule set up for if one person's missing, do we play anyway? How many people need to be missing for us not to play? That's important to have. But outside of that,
still annoying.
Like, as a DM, like, and you have things planned, what if you had like a big session planned
for that character?
Yeah, for that character or for in general.
What if you just had like a teetering combat that needed all of the players there?
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise, it's going to be imbalanced. And some people can't balance on the fly.
Yeah, and then, you know, if you don't have something set up for what do you do if you're playing and the player isn't here as well? And this is why it's so important to have a session 0, by the way. So you can go, okay, one person missing, we still play. 2 people missing, we don't play. When you're not here and we're playing, what do you want us to do with your character? Because all of those things, when it actually happens, those are things that completely paralyze a game entirely.
100%. And the other stuff.
The other stuff also stinks.
The other stuff's dreadful. Like, the rolling a d6 for how far you go, I don't know what system you play or whatever. It's like, that's completely up to you. But not even knowing the counter that you are on the board.
Yeah.
And then the thing that, the other thing that fucking pisses me off, it's like, look, some people care different varyings about like TTRPGs.
Yeah.
So it's just like, you know, if you're not there to pay like full lock-in attention, you sort of just want to socialize, I get it. But at the same time, if you're talking loudly about your personal life over other people.
Oh my God.
Like,
oh my God.
Talking over other people is something that, you know, we should know is not good etiquette.
Yeah. And it happens. It happens.
Oh, it happens.
People can
Sometimes
get too excited.
Happens.
People can, like, especially people like neurodivergent people, sometimes there's moments where it's like you can't not, you just do it, and it's like an impulse and you can't help it. But I agree.
But
like,
all the time, loudly, over everyone,
over actual play, unacceptable.
Just rough. It's like, and I get it in combat. Like, you do spend a lot of time like chilling out and
totally.
You know, and there is little conversations that go on at my table.
There is.
Like, even in combat, they're like, people are strategizing. Some people are just having a bit of a laugh. Some people are going to the toilet because combat can take a little bit of time. And stuff like that, and that's fine. But when we're fucking role playing,
I know.
When we're like having conversations betwixt the party members, and somebody's just shouting about what they did at work, it's just like, it's unfair.
Yeah,
is
and
what
you
it
know,
is.
I honestly think in combat it's slightly different because
it is different.
I would say for the majority of combat and majority of combats, you know, your turn is probably like a secular thing, right? You know, not to say that it isn't a team game or whatever, but you know, sometimes combats can be kind of straightforward, and you go, "Oh, I'm going to do this thing, I'm going to do that," and you know, you don't really necessarily
you don't need to lock in that much.
Exactly.
Not every combat's like world ending.
Yeah, exactly. And on the other hand of that, sometimes there's really intense combats where you have to strategize as a team, and one half of the table is strategizing because they're kind of grouped together in initiative. The other half of the table is strategizing for what they do. You know, that's okay. But like, I can just imagine in really intense roleplay moments, this guy being like, I got popcorn chicken today, and it was really
I went to KFC, popcorn chicken on fire. And like the thing is, right, with the other stuff, like not knowing the rules of the game, some people it doesn't matter how long they play for, they just don't learn in that way. They don't learn by doing.
Absolutely.
They learn by sitting down and like reading the rule book and stuff like that. And a lot of people don't have time for that. As long as they try to learn the rules and, you know, ask questions and stuff like that.
I agree.
I understand how it can be frustrating when they don't even know which counter they are on the board.
Yes, very much
like because they're paying that little attention. But this sounds dreadful.
Yeah, it does. And I fully believe this is the most common. Like bad player experience. Yeah, it really is. I feel like everyone has a story about someone like this.
Completely agree.
Yeah. Okay, this next one is the worst player I actually had was a group of players. I almost gave up on DMing with them. In the group of 5 players, they never said thank you or anything for the session, and I ran like 30 sessions with them, which with all the costs on me, I never charged them a penny. Not even in the end of the campaign. But that was okay. The thing that bothered me a lot was that the 3 of them would constantly forced yawn for the fun of it whenever I was reading a text block or narrating anything that would take me more than 30 seconds. That's cruel. That's so evil. Horrible.
That is evil.
Horrible. Sometimes they would just talk over to stop me, and in a few stances, one of the players would start blah, 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 let's play, while I was describing something. Of course, I understood it as I was a terrible and boring DM. So for the rest of the adventure, I just kept myself at a minimum and invested a lot before sessions on my speech in an effort to be less boring. The thing is, in the end, one of the players came to me and said I was the best DM she ever had, and she was really sorry about the behavior of her fellow players. At the time, I had actually already decided that I would never DM again. She asked me to DM a one-shot for her and her friends. I did it, changing nothing in my style, and everybody loved it. I kept DMing, and I never had any issues again like I had with that particular group. So for me, the worst players were the ones who almost made me give up because they were kind of thankless, I guess.
What horrible behavior.
Awful. Oh my God, absolutely awful.
What heinous behavior.
To sit there.
Blah, blah, blah. Come on, hurry up.
When your DM's talking to go,
checking your watch.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness gracious me. It's just how are these just the rudest people on earth?
How old are these people? Not that, you know, not that is an excuse. It isn't.
It's not an excuse.
It isn't an excuse, but, you know, I can picture a group of like 13, 14-year-olds doing this. I hope these weren't grown adults.
They better not have been.
I really hope
they better not have been.
And you know what? For OP to be like, I'm horrible at this.
Yeah,
oh my God.
That's what it does. Like,
yeah.
You don't, like, you should understand. And if you don't, let me help you understand. Like, dungeon masters are people. And when you do things like this, you're hurting someone's feelings.
Yeah.
You're not just, you know, like having a laugh and a joke. They put a lot of themselves out there. They put a lot of themselves into dungeon mastering. They dungeon master the way that they would like to be dungeon mastered for. And they're basically performing. And if somebody was to sing in front of you or something like that, or do a dance in front of you, and you go, you go, blah, 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 yeah, hurry up. It's just like, you're literally destroying someone's confidence.
Like, oh my God.
Destroying it.
That is just such a cruel thing to do. And like, the thing is, these people can't have been friends. No friend would ever treat like this, even as a joke. And the thing is, like, I can also totally picture the people in this story being the type of people where they'd be like, oh, and then the DM would be like, man, like that, what are you doing that for? And they'd be like, it's just a joke.
It's just a joke.
It's just a joke.
It's
oh my God,
joke.
It's just
oh my
a joke.
God, you're just so sensitive.
Yeah, man.
It's just a joke.
Oh God.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, good on that person to come forward and be like, you're the best dungeon master I've ever had.
Totally.
Like, can you come and, like, sorry for everyone else's behavior. Come and DM a one-shot for us.
Yeah.
And the fact that you didn't change your style and everyone enjoyed it just shows you that they were just dreadful people.
They were just horrible people.
Horrible, rude, dreadful people.
That is such a cruel thing to do.
The thing is, I am a very confident person.
Yeah.
I am a very, self-assured, confident person. Like, I think that would still hurt my feelings.
It would hurt my feelings.
For somebody who would be less confident than me, that would probably destroy somebody.
Yeah, well, it obviously nearly did. This OP says I was never going to DM ever again. And imagine robbing someone of that much joy. For what, though?
The thing is as well, do you reckon they know that's how they make people feel? They've got to, right? You can't be that stupid.
I don't know, because some people like to ride on like the scapegoat of, oh, it's just a joke, it's just funny, like, oh, come on, it's just a joke. Like, people love to ride on the coattails of that, because when the mirror is pointed back at them and they're like, you did something that really hurt me, it's easier for them to be like, no, I didn't.
No, I didn't.
It's just funny.
I didn't. It's just like, but you did though.
Yeah, this is such horrible behavior. And you know what? There's another story in here that is like so similar to this.
Really?
Like probably even worse,
Man.
actually. And this is awful. I'm so glad that this person came forward. God, oh my God, please stand up for your DMs. Stand up for the people around you.
Big time. I know it's scary, but try and stand up for the people around you.
Scary.
And the thing is as well, it's just like, if you're thinking about fake yawning, if you're thinking about blah, 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 hurry up, like move on with it and stuff like that, just leave. Yeah. Just totally. Save everyone a lot of pain.
Yeah.
And just if you're not enjoying something, just leave. It's like, clearly you're not enjoying it, or clearly you aren't communicating which parts of the sessions you do and do not enjoy.
Yeah.
So the dungeon master can like tailor things to fit. You're not using any communication skills. You're not trying anything. You're just being horrible.
You're just being horrible.
You're just
and
being
you know
a
what?
piece of shit.
Like, at the end, the OP's like, they were just thankless, and it's like they were worse than that.
No,
but
they were dreadful.
Also to never say thank you, not once. And I'm like, why the fuck are you playing with this DM then?
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't like playing with them because you're fake yawning and you're going blah 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 over them. Like, you don't like playing because you wouldn't do that if you did.
Like, my players, like at the end of every session, thank me.
We applaud you. At the end of every we do. We give them a little clap at the end of every session.
And it's like, I don't ask for that. I don't like need that.
No.
But you just do it.
Yeah.
And I, thank you all for like turning up and being good players and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, we just have a little communication about how we just enjoyed it. And like bits of the session that we enjoyed, we have like a 5 minute before everyone leaves and stuff like that, which is nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dungeon Masters.
Yeah, totally.
And Dungeon Masters, thank you, players.
Absolutely, man.
Unless they're like this, they don't deserve
Yeah,
thanks.
this is such a cruel thing to
They
do.
deserve prison.
And I just do not know, like, to what end? To what end? Why are you doing this?
Because it's Margaret. Because it's funny.
It pisses me off so much.
Funny as though. Oh, you're so sensitive, Margaret. It's so funny.
Poor OP. I feel so bad for
I know.
OP. Like, this would ruin me.
I know. I think it would ruin a lot of people.
Yeah, it would.
I hope that you went to this new group, they really enjoyed it, and then you just continued Dungeon Mastering for them, and you've had a great life, and it's been amazing.
Totally.
Is what I hope for you.
Absolutely. OP, I'm sorry. That fucking stinks.
Stinky as that, innit?
Oh, all right. The next one. Still rancid, but not as much. Girlfriend of the guy who really wanted to play announced at the beginning of the first session she was only there to spend time with her boyfriend. She didn't care about the game and likely wouldn't show up again. Unfortunately, she did show up again to every session because her boyfriend showed up to every session. She didn't pay attention, she was constantly annoyed, she never understood the rules, nor bothered to remember them, etc. When she bothered to have her character interact with the NPCs, it was only to tell them how much she hated them or to slap them in the faces for their insolence.
Abolish it.
Abolish it.
Abolish it.
Eventually, I had to kick her from the group, which brought on howls of protests about how mean I was. She and her boyfriend broke up soon after.
That's good.
Like, What the fuck?
I'm only here with my boyfriend. I'm probably never going to turn up again.
This is such a toxic relationship.
Dreadful game.
What, like, that? This is just so toxic. Like, this, tell me that you need to control your partner without telling me you need to control your partner. Tell me you don't trust them and you want to control them, so you have to be there in every single thing they do.
Every facet of their life.
Man.
And then to not actually like care about the game at all. The only time that you actually insert yourself in the game is to tell people you hate them and that you want to slap them in their face
and slapping
for
them
their insolence.
Like, and you know, oh my God, how must this have looked? How must this have looked at the table? Like, I can't imagine how anyone has this, like, a lack of humility to the point where they will intrude on someone else's game. Because the thing is, like, your boyfriend, like, what you two get up to, just you two, is totally
that's up to you.
Your prerogative.
But like when you're coming in and ruining
someone else's game,
like not just someone else's, not just the dungeon masters,
everyone.
other players and probably the boyfriends.
Yeah, everyone else's. What a horrible, horrible situation.
Horrible.
And I'm so glad they broke up, because this is just the
best for everyone.
This is the actual textbook definition of like a controlling, manipulative partner. 100%.
Oh my goodness gracious me.
That stinks.
That's not good.
That's not good at all.
I didn't like that one.
No.
At all.
No. All right.
Slap you in the face for your insolence.
This next one, in one of my current games, John, one of the other PCs, is one of the worst kind of min-maxers. He has an almost encyclopedic knowledge of Pathfinder, and a lot of us are relative newbies to the system. Thankfully, he doesn't use that to metagame, but will take every opportunity to criticize our characters and our choices, as well as be incredibly passive-aggressive about every decision we make that he doesn't agree with. He constantly tries to be the group leader. Because, and this is a real quote from him, he knows our characters better than we do. He also dislikes me outside of the game and uses that against me in the game.
Good. That's good. That's a good table dynamic.
I don't think I ever came up with an idea or a plan that he didn't immediately call stupid. Eventually, we came to a point where his original character left the group so he could roll up a new person who he thought would mesh better with the group. And he took the opportunity of leaving to rant in character about everyone else in the group.
Oh God! The only way that character would mesh better with everybody else is if that person wasn't the player behind it.
At this time, we also collectively voted our brawler as the group leader because he was the one that we all trusted and we would follow. As soon as John comes back with his new character, he starts trying to assert leadership again and gets pouty when things don't go his way. We all hate his characters, and if he wasn't the DM's best friend, I think we would have all kicked him out by now.
Like, there's nothing wrong with min-maxing.
No,
min-maxing is absolutely fine as long as you keep it to yourself. Just keep it to yourself.
I think this player is what everyone thinks about when there is discourse about min-maxing.
About min-maxing.
Right?
This is exactly who you think of.
It really is. This is the exact person you picture when you hear someone going, oh, they min-max their character.
100%.
And like, again, I'm a min-maxer.
I like min-maxing.
I love it. That's a part of the game that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
But, oh my God, I would never criticize anyone else's decisions that they make in game unless they're like intentionally harmful or hurtful to the group.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like I would never.
It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. It's just like the thing is, when it comes to our table, we all know the level of difficulty that you need to be able to handle. And like if you were to bring in a like poorly optimized like 9 strength barbarian or something like that, totally. It's like you'd struggle.
You would struggle.
So it's like you've got to put the things in the right places. That's just my table. That's just how we play. And maybe you just wouldn't be the player for my table if you were to play like that. But I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, you're an absolute loser. I can't believe you do it like that.
Yeah.
Like, that's just not the way that we play the game. Everyone plays the game for different reasons. And this is the thing. You can be a min-maxer as long as you keep it in your pants.
I completely agree.
Keep
my
it
God,
to yourself.
Totally.
Like, nobody cares about what you would do
no one
with
cares.
their build.
Literally no one cares.
If they care, they'd ask you.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
At that point,
you can then, if they ask you, you can then tell them.
You can say, hey, I would probably do this with your build.
Exactly. And
I'd maybe do this, and these are the things that I do. But it's completely up to you.
There's times at our table, not necessarily builds. We're all very good at making our own builds, right? But like, there's moments at the table where we're like, man, what feat should I take?
Yeah, we ask each other.
What spell should I put on for the day? Or do you think I should do this? And we would never be like, you should do this.
This is the only thing you should do. Yeah. Don't do anything else.
And if we do make suggestions like that, for example, Josh could go, oh, you should put Pass Without a Trace on for the day because we're doing this. He's not doing it to being like, oh, you would be so stupid if you didn't put Pass Without a Trace on.
Yeah.
That would be such a bad decision. He's like, you should do it because of this. You know what I mean?
And this is the thing. It's like having an experienced player at the table with newbies is normally a good thing.
It is, I agree.
To help people.
Just to guide them through it.
To just guide them through it and stuff like that. And to let them maybe know, like, it's like, you do what you want. Maybe at the times where there's like difficult decisions, you do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But just so you know X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Just so you know this could happen and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like, if they want it. The problem is when you get somebody like this who uses their experience as a weapon.
Yeah.
And as basically like bargaining chips and
to put other people down around them.
To put people down around them to be like, I know more than you. Yeah. Therefore, you have to listen to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's pain.
Absolutely horrible behavior. And an experienced player should know better. Like, you should know that starting any TTRPG, oh my gosh, especially Pathfinder, there is so much on people's plates, and like learning how to roleplay for the first time, learning how to actually engage in combat, learning a system,
learning how to get your build online, learning like
totally.
Do some builds need setup? Do they need to do certain things to be strong?
Yeah.
Like, people who've never played before don't understand that a barbarian needs to rage to do like to be tanky and do more damage.
Exactly. They don't know that they should reckless attack every
They just don't get it, and it's just like it's the curse of knowledge because you expect everybody else to know.
And that is just not the case.
Giga bad mindset to get yourself in.
We all need to remember that
we were all new at some point.
We were all new, and oh my gosh. Think about how someone's influence could have either swayed you like in a good or a bad direction, right?
And it's like, if somebody did that to you when you were new, I bet you it didn't make you feel good. No. So why are you paying that forward?
Well, yeah, because some people are like, well, I suffered, so they have to as well.
I fucking hate that.
Is the worst mentality anyone could have. Like, well, I had a really bad time doing this, so I'm going to make sure that, that it was a rite of passage. Wrong. So wrong. Oh my gosh. So wrong.
The whole, like... They used their character leaving as a way to rant. It's like my friend, you aren't being as subtle as I think you are. I think everyone can see through it.
Exactly. Everyone knows exactly what's going on here.
Exactly what you're doing. And like, to then bring another character in and just it's like the group has. Hey, some groups don't care about having a leader. No. Some groups love having a leader. Yeah. It's like completely up to them. But if a group has elected this person leader, and then like all of them, and then you come in
you bring in this fucking horrible character
to just try and fight for it because you think that's
you should be the
what
leader?
You deserve.
Oh my god! Like, you know what? Our party doesn't have a leader. Like, we've never had a leader.
We've never done that.
Never. We do have faces of the party, I guess, to a degree.
Yeah. Usually it's you.
Yeah, because I love charisma.
Yeah.
But like, we've never had a leader. And oh my god, if any one of us was like, I'm the leader, we'd all be like, no, you're not. Yeah. What are you talking about? Like, I could see us electing a leader. Yeah. Definitely. I could definitely see us having that conversation being like, yeah, we'll follow you. You're the leader.
Like, leader doesn't mean nobody else gets a say.
Yeah.
It's like you clearly have no idea what a leader means,
obviously,
or what a leader stands for.
Exactly.
If you think that
elect yourself,
if you elect yourself,
you don't know what it takes to be a leader.
You don't know what it takes to be a leader, and that's not the point of a leader.
Exactly. A point of a leader is to guide the people in a way that the people all agree with.
And listen to them.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, as a leader, you need to listen to the people around you.
You need to lift up the people around 100%. You as a leader.
And help them.
Exactly.
And be there for them.
A leader wants everyone to be on the same page, but this type of leader wants everyone below them. Yeah. And that's not how it works.
It's not how it works.
Not how it works. Not in D&D and not in real life. That stinks. John, you stink.
John, you actually stink.
Please.
Like beef.
If you are an experienced player and you're going into a group with newbies, please remember, you were new too.
You and you too, have patience with them.
Exactly.
You know, ask them if they
I know
need
all
help.
of you would. Hey, I don't doubt any of you for a single
like,
second.
if you want to give somebody some help, ask them if they want it.
Ask them if they want some feedback.
And if they don't, then fucking don't give it to them. Like, they've said they don't want it.
And honestly, I think there is a lot to be said about TTRPGs in particular, having to just learn yourself through experience and making bad decisions.
Yeah.
And building a character wrong. Not that I believe that there is a wrong way to... I mean, in my opinion, there is, because I'm a min-maxer.
Yeah.
But I would never tell someone that. Like, you know... What was I saying?
Don't know.
What was I saying?
Hey, I didn't realize you were in here.
Oh my gosh. I have no idea what I was just saying.
Sorry.
Like, at all.
I think we were about done with that.
Yeah. Can you let me know what I was saying? I don't think anything wrong.
I've got such an itchy nostril. It's
hay fever?
No, I don't have hay fever. It's like in here. I got a spot on my nose.
Yeah, you do have a little red spot on your nose. Yeah.
No!
All right, we're coming up to the last few here. This is just a short one. This is a player who slept through a castle siege only to wake up in the last 30 minutes as they are retreating. They lost the keep. And as I'm describing the retreat, she just repeatedly kept saying, "We don't care. Seriously, we don't fucking care. Can't believe I DM'd another 6 sessions with that group before saying fuck it.
We don't care." So I fell asleep, realized they'd lost the keep. It's like, if you've got to repeatedly say we don't care, I can't tell you enough how much that shows how much you care.
Yeah.
Like, I know you're saying something, but you're actually saying the other thing.
Yeah. See, you know what? In this, this is just, again, this is like the yawning thing. To be like, we don't care. Seriously, we don't care. Like, as your DM's trying to describe a scene that's happening and you're interrupting them to be like, listen, we don't care. We don't care. So fucking rude.
It's like, first of all, you clearly do. Otherwise, you wouldn't be so upset about it. And second of all, if you don't care, why are you here?
Yeah. And like, who falls asleep during a castle siege? Like,
well, life's busy.
I get it. I get it.
You know, and maybe you could have been like, oh, like, I'm sorry, I fell asleep. I'm really tired. I'm just going to dip out for the rest of the session to go and get some Z's or something like that. But do you think it was like secondhand embarrassment for falling asleep or something like that?
No, I think this person fell asleep because they were bored. I actually think this person doesn't give a fuck. I really get the feeling that this person, they fell asleep because they didn't care, or they pretended to be asleep because they just didn't care. And then as the DM, one of those things where we've seen this, where someone pretended to fall asleep in a session.
Yes.
And they did it because they didn't want to be there and because they were bored. That's the vibe I'm getting here. And for someone, I really get the vibe that this person's being like, you can stop explaining it because we don't care. Listen, we're not bothered. We don't care that we lost the keep. So shut up. I don't care.
And also, do you speak for everyone? I don't think you do.
Absolutely not.
So, you know, somebody else might care. Somebody else might actually really care.
Yeah.
And this might be an important thing to somebody. To just outwardly speak so disrespectfully for everyone is a bold thing to do. And do you want to know what? I think maybe they don't care about the campaign, but they just care too much. I think they maybe don't care about the campaign.
Yeah.
But they care about letting everyone know that they don't care.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's
it.
That's always how it goes.
Yeah, they care so much about letting everyone know that
they don't care.
I don't care, by the way. Like, just so
by
you
the
know,
way, don't care.
I'm so fucking cool, and I just don't care.
Yeah.
It's just like, you care. Right now, you care so much, you're saying you don't care.
Hey, caring about things is cool.
Caring's sick.
Actually caring about the people around you and the things you engage in, hey, that's cool. That's good.
I care about you.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, I care about you.
I care about TTRPGs.
Yeah.
I care about people who like TTRPGs like you.
Exactly. It's cool to care about things.
Cool. Caring is cool.
Being ambivalent is not fucking cool.
Like, being this really dull ass motherfucker who's like,
hey, we don't care.
I don't care about anything. It's just like, you're so boring.
Yeah, and you need to find a reason.
You need to find a reason to live.
Yeah, you need to find something you care about
to like grab hold of.
Totally.
And care about.
Totally.
Because your life will be so much funner.
Yeah.
Your life will be so much richer. Your life will feel like so much more meaningful if you just fucking cared about anything.
anything. I totally agree. And you know what? To a degree, I actually kind of pity those people who are like, who have to feel like they have to say, I don't care about anything. When it's like, you obviously do. Like, you're obviously, in my opinion, very insecure, and you have self-confidence issues, and you would benefit so much from caring about something.
Finding something
you'd
to
really benefit from that.
Finding something to just care about and like want and need in your life, you would probably really benefit from that.
Making the statement, I don't care about anything, is a statement, right? That immediately tells me kind of like
who you are as a person.
It does. It really does. 100%. And why you think you have to say that.
Yeah.
Like, I pity people like that. I do. I don't think that's what's going on here. I think this person is just a fucking dickhead.
Just a proper piece of
dickhead
shit.
Who doesn't want to play in this game and is, for whatever reason, going along with this game.
Yeah.
I think pretending to fucking fall asleep and being like, is it over? I'm getting, is it over yet? Can we go home yet? That's the vibe I'm getting here.
Just fucking go.
Just go
fucking play Fortnite or something.
Yeah, and you know
just
what?
Like go do anything that you enjoy, because you don't enjoy this. You're making other people enjoy this. You're making this a really unenjoyable experience.
What a waste of your time.
What a waste of your time. Have you got nothing to do?
What a waste of your time.
That you want to do?
Yeah.
Man, if I had some free time, I could think of loads of things I want to do.
Oh my god, same. And you know what? I one thing that really frustrates me as a human. But to be fair, I understand being a people pleaser. I've been there. I'm still there in points. But like, you know, when people go and do things, they're like, I really don't want to do this. Man, I'm going to have such a bad time when I'm there. And then they come back and they're like, I had such an awful time and I wish I didn't go. Like, you're just, what a waste of your time. Your time on this world is fucking finite.
Yeah, it's like you have finite time. Why are you spending it doing things that you don't want to do?
Yeah, for what?
Just listen to me. If you're doing something you don't want to do, don't do it.
Don't do it. You don't owe anyone anything.
Enjoy your life. Find things you want to do and do them instead of spending time doing things that you don't want to do just because you feel like you've got to please the people around you.
And if the people around you and you go, hey, no, I don't, thank you for inviting me, but I don't feel like going. If they meet you with anything other than, oh, sure, okay, yeah, totally. Invite's still there though, feel free. Then are they really your friend?
No.
And, you know, I understand there is obviously nuance to that and caveats.
Yeah.
Like, if, you know, it's your best friend's wedding and they're like, hey, are you coming to the wedding? And you're like, nah.
Don't fancy it.
I think that is slightly different.
Yeah.
But, you
There's
know.
things that you should do for your friends because they're your friends.
And you know what? In our life, we've become, in the past few years, incredibly good at saying no to things that we don't want to do. Not once has a single one of our friends ever met us with anything other than, sure, no problem. Don't worry. Like, not once.
Yeah.
Everyone has been like, that's totally fine. Your friends love and respect you.
Yeah,
they don't want you to do things that you don't want to do.
No, why would your friends want you to have a bad time? If they want you to have a bad time, they're not your friends.
Yeah. And, you know, family's a different topic entirely.
Yeah, family's different.
Yeah.
Family's a complicated thing.
Yeah.
We won't go into that right now.
No.
We've been on that many times before.
Yeah. All right. This is the penultimate. We're on to the second to last. This one is, I once had a player who kept trying to take control of the world away from me and make quirky things just happen. For example, the party had just finished a difficult encounter, and the players said they wanted to head back to the city, heal the party member who had been poisoned, and then go back to the tavern. So I tried to describe that scene, but he kept interjecting. Me, you guys enter the city. Player, and it's being attacked by the flying spaghetti monster.
What?
Me, no, that's not happening. You head towards the nearest temple so you can cure the poison of one of your party members that has been infected. Player, the poison causes me to mutate into a dragon.
No, it doesn't. Hey, that didn't happen.
Me, no, that's not happening. The priests charge you 10 gold for the service. Player.
Oh my god.
The skies shake and their god's voice booms across the city.
Give me back my 10 gold.
This one is my champion. Serve him for free. And give him all of your magic items. The priests are terrified and they scramble to pile all their magic items in front of my character. Me? No, that's not happening.
Actually, don't think that happened.
No, that's not happening.
Hey, didn't happen.
The party heads towards the tavern, exhausted from the day's battle. Stuff like that, constantly. Apparently, he's normally a DM.
You can tell.
Who hasn't been a player for a few years. No wonder. I am now extremely weary of DMing for other DMs now.
Yeah, well, look, I'm a dungeon master, and I wouldn't do that at your game.
Serve him for free!
Serve him for free.
And throw in a McFlurry!
Like, the thing is, like, I was about to say two things. It's like, one, just be a dungeon master. Like,
totally.
Just be a dungeon master. If you want control over the story and things like cool things like the flying spaghetti monster and the poison turns you into a dragon and people to just give you loads of magic items for free and stuff like that, just be the dungeon master. Or communicate some things to your dungeon master that you would like to happen, and then they know that you want those things to happen. Like, you have an arc where you turn into a dragon because you become poisoned by some evil ancient dragon poison.
I can picture this.
They can do that for you
as an XP to level 3 skit.
Like this. Oh my god!
This is literally an XP to level 3 skit.
I think I could literally hear Jake reading this out.
I can picture it,
acting it out.
I can literally picture this. Jake, hey, someone send this to Jake, and please act this out as a skit.
Jake, could you act this out as a skit?
Please. I think you would do.
I feel like you take that to the next level.
This would translate so well to a skit. Oh my god!
I could just imagine the camera pans and he does that thing where he's like, and you know, and he like looks around the table as the player,
as the GM being like, "No, that's not happening."
He goes back, and then Jake's like,
And you know what? I just love that this happened constantly. Apparently, the DM constantly had to be like, no,
hey,
you know,
that
like
didn't happen.
when you meet someone's like crazy aunt in a movie and they're like, don't worry, Aunt Bertha's just insane.
Yeah.
Aunt Bertha's always doing something wild.
Like, the thing is as well, like, I get it. Do you know what? In a way, I get it. Because I've been a dungeon master in a game where, like, I feel like this is just because I'm a storyteller, and look, I know myself, and I'm better as a player, and I'm better as a DM, and I know I am, and that's why I'm the forever DM. Because when there's stories that people tell and they don't go in the direction I think they should, I'm like, oh man, that was a missed opportunity there. Like, the thing is, I just don't do this.
Totally. And you know what? Yeah, I get it. I get that there's probably these thoughts, right? I totally get it. To be honest, probably as a player, there's probably these thoughts, right?
Yeah. Like, come on.
Yeah, I don't know. And you know what? It's giving my name is Lewis.
My name is Lewis.
It's giving those vibes to me.
But I get it. Look.
Serve him for free.
Serve him for free.
All your magical items. What a banger. To be honest, what a banger.
What a ripper.
What a banger.
What an absolute ripper of a submission.
Oh, so this last one. You know what? We should have ended on that one. A good one.
That was good.
This last one, I was desperate to play, but I couldn't get a group together, so I finally joined a group at the library. There, I met the biggest murder hobo ever.
Let's go.
He was the party leader, which apparently meant he told everyone what they could do.
Just to clarify again, not what leaders do.
Not how a leader works.
Not how leaders works.
He said that I would come with a scouting party because I had decent stealth. He then straight up told me no. He didn't want a sorcerer up in the front. He tried to tell me where to stand during fights. He didn't like that I was a folk hero and said a guild artisan would make more sense. Never mind that I had spent hours writing my character. There was no opportunity for roleplay. The second the DM stopped talking, he was strategizing or just generally steamrolled everything, so we were all NPCs in his dungeon simulator. I suspect that being female had something to do with my treatment.
Maybe.
But there was a lot of turnover, so I think he was generally abrasive. Woo, I just need to get that off my chest. The story does eventually have a happy ending, though. Another girl joined just after me, and eventually we ran away together and formed our own group that has way more fun.
Hey, I don't think folk heroes works for you. It's just like, who fucking cares? Who cares? Who cares what you think?
Hey, not your business.
Not your story.
Hey, not your character.
Hey, by the way, you have your character. This is mine.
Hey, nothing to do with you.
Actually nothing to do with you.
And,
hey, the sorcerer's on the battlefield in the wrong place. DM, could we move them back? It's like, no. How about that?
Yeah, I think you being a woman has everything to do with it.
I think you being a woman has a huge amount to do with it.
Yes,
but I will
certainly.
say, I think this person
would do it to anyone.
I think this person would tell anyone what to do.
I agree. But felt especially as if they could tell you what to do.
Yeah, big time.
Again, I've said so many times, my whole life, I have been told by men what to do constantly. Every time, anytime I show my face in anything, even in this podcast, every now and then there's a man who talks to me directly about something I should do, and it's like, hey, abolish it.
Hey, abolish it.
Hey, abolish telling you what to do.
I think that needs abolishing.
Hey, I think that means abolishing, actually.
Like, just wait for people to ask, and then you can tell them. Like, if they want your advice, they will ask. Why do you feel like it's your God-given right to give it to everyone?
Yeah, I know.
Oh my God, 100% NPCs in this person's story, by the way.
God, how boring and frustrating is that, by the way?
Like, I would say this person should be a dungeon master. I don't think that would fit you either.
I think this person should play a single-player action RPG game.
I think you should go and write a book.
Yeah.
I think you should go play Baldur's Gate.
Yeah. Genuinely,
Baldur's Gate is where you belong.
Genuinely, I completely agree.
Like a single-player game where you can have like your finger in all of the pies and control everyone's characters,
exactly.
like what magic item, what backgrounds, and like
what
everything
class,
like that. Who's in the party?
Totally.
Like,
genuinely,
just go play Baldur's Gate. You will have the best time in Baldur's Gate.
I'm sure there's people who have come from Baldur's Gate who have come into TTRPGs in general, and they don't like the way a TTRPG works.
Yeah.
Because you're better suited to playing a single player game. And by the way, there's no shame in that.
No shame in that at all.
No shame in recognizing, hey, I'm not a good group player.
I'm not a good group player.
Nothing wrong with that.
I can't collaborate at all.
Yeah.
Like, I struggle.
I need to have control.
I struggle to not have control.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's fine, but just recognize that about yourself.
Totally.
Instead of trying to force that onto everybody around you, because it's not healthy and it's not good.
You know, the fact that there is a high turnover rate doesn't surprise me. But also, again, how many times do we have to say, how many bad things have to happen around you until you go, God, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm the problem. Yeah.
Like, but the problem is, I feel like some people are just really unself-aware.
Yeah, totally.
And I think that some people just do struggle to realize that they are the problem.
Yeah, it's a skill you have to work on, to be fair.
Yeah, and I think it is quite hard. And, you know, it's also like, you don't want to admit that you're the problem.
No, totally.
Nobody wants to admit
that's
that
a hard
they're
thing.
the problem.
It's a hard thing to do.
It's a really hard thing to do.
But, man,
I think it's maybe a little bit beyond this person.
Yeah, or at least at the phase that they were in their life at this point. Yeah, definitely. But you know, the happy ending, the two gals ran away together. I love that. Started a new game. Having a great time. A lot more fun.
You found exactly what TTRPGs is about.
100%. Oh my gosh.
Finding a group of players and just having a great time together and just getting together every week. And
Absolutely.
It's brilliant.
Absolutely.
And do you want to know what? I do love when good is born out of a bad situation.
I agree. I very much agree.
Making the best of a bad situation is great.
Yeah, I agree.
And you did that here.
Yeah.
And well done to you.
Yeah.
Because do you want to know what? I think a lot of people who would have had that experience would have gone, maybe D&D's not for me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, 100%.
And it's happened to so many people in some of these stories.
So often, some of the horror stories we read, it's like, I would have never gone back to D&D.
Played again.
Like, ever. Because it's so easy to have an experience be like a bad experience for your first experience. Think that's what it's all like, right?
Yeah.
That's so normal. We are so lucky that we had a great experience with our friends who we trusted and we were close with, and who thankfully like the same form of D&D that we do.
Yeah.
Like, we were really lucky for that. I feel like
not that many people get that.
I feel like the minority get that, really.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's why we always say, like, your first table might not be your forever table.
It's rarely going to be your forever table.
And that's okay.
And if you do find your forever table in your first table, like, that's super awesome.
Yeah.
And, like, you are lucky.
Yep.
And you should treasure it and hold it tight.
Totally.
That's super awesome.
Totally.
I'm super glad for you. But the people who've had bad experiences like this,
and then are still able to try again,
or have never played ever again, like, I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised, and that's why it's so fucking sad. That's why, like, people, you know, in the like the very first one with the fake yawning, people just don't realize how the way they treat people can potentially, like, form something that lasts with someone forever.
Yeah, an opinion forever.
Yeah, forever.
It's like they can't untie the fact that that person was in the D&D game.
Yeah.
And they were like, I actually hate D&D.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like, nah, you didn't. You just hated that person.
Yeah.
But they couldn't untangle it.
That OP who was like, I was never going to DM again because I thought I was the problem.
Yeah, I would probably think the same thing.
I would too. Honestly, I would as well.
Misery.
Yeah. Oh, well, that was it. God, there was some fucking stinkers
There
in
was
this
some
one.
stinkers there.
There was some actual stinkers.
Stinkers.
Oh, well, as always, I'd like to know who was the worst player you ever played with.
Yeah.
The thing is, hey, I know the majority of them because you let us know in the horror stories.
Yeah, but let us know down in the comments.
Yeah,
the worst player you've ever played with.
And of course, if you have any other perspectives or insight on any of these, please let us know as well.
Let us know down in the comments. Join us on Patreon. Patreon link is down below. You can get some exclusive content on there. So please feel free to check that out. Our merch store is down below as well. Pick up a Attack the Unaware or a Heavy Metal t-shirt, and there's many others on there. Patreon will give you 10% off. Come join us on Twitch on Friday, Sunday,
tomorrow.
Friday, Sunday, and every other Tuesday.
We do D&D advice live quite often.
Yes, we do. We do is Ask Us Anythings as well, and it's really fun. And we just hang out and talk. It's great.
Yeah.
Like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. I love you.
I love you.
Bully loves you.
Yeah.
We've been the Eldritch Podblast, and we're gonna see you on Monday. Bye.
And another huge thank you to our patrons for all of your support. A big shout out to our fellow entities.
Hoobs.
Ariel.
Tula.
Runarian.
Arkham Labs Cosplay.
Maddie.
Pepsi Woman.
Luna.
Teddysaurus.
Caspian.
Ryan the Giant 111.
J-Spot.
Ultrafail.
Dallin M.
Sleepy.
Joe Dragonlord 2.
Alistar.
Lawkeeper Society.
Ricky B.
Danny Phantom.
Catherine.
Faustskin.
Azuriel.
Panda Queen Plays.
Xylo Boy.
Lucas Iapetis.
And Luna River.
Thank you again for all your support.
And if you too would like to become a patron of the Eldritch Podblast, check the link below.